As a kid, all a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
Thursday night football, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the New York Jets. Now, both of these two teams are 0-3 going into this game, so we're hoping that if this game doesn't end in a tie, that one of these two teams will have their first win of the season. And for the Denver Broncos, man, the Denver Broncos, I had high expectations for the Broncos heading into this season, and they haven't really been able to live up to those expectations due to injuries. I mean, the Denver Broncos are completely depleted. I mean, Jerome Casey, he's done for the season. Drew Lock is going to be missing some time. It's like a lot of injuries that the Denver Broncos are dealing with. And then at the quarterback position, Brett Rippon is expected to be the starting quarterback going into this game. So for the Denver Broncos, man, I mean, gosh, man, I just feel really bad for Broncos fans because I felt the Broncos were going to be a playoff team this year, and they most likely aren't going to make it to the playoffs because of how just depleted this roster is by injuries. And you look at the New York Jets, on the other hand, I mean, this team is just bad. All around, the defense is bad, the offense is bad, everything for New York is just terrible. So, I mean, for the New York Jets, you're hoping that offensive tackle Mekhi Becton and wide receiver Jamison Crowder are able to play in this game. Both of these guys are listed as questionable. And for the Denver Broncos, Shelby Harris, Kareem Jackson, Devontae Harris, those guys are also listed as questionable going into this game as well. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing for the Denver Broncos is that you go back and you watch that Tampa game. I mean, in that Tampa Bay game, I mean, it wasn't pretty. It got ugly really fast, really quick. At halftime, the game was pretty much all but over. And then you put in Brett Rippon, who Brett Rippon showed some promise late in the fourth quarter. I know it's like a garbage time drive and things like that. Nobody's really going to care. But I do think at this point, Brett Rippon gives the Broncos the best chance to win. And also, Denver wants to win. I think that they're going to have to find more ways to get the ball to Noah Fant, because Noah Fant pretty much is the best player that they have on their offense. Now, you also have rookie Jerry Jeudy as well and KJ Hamler. But, I mean, I think the most consistent guy that they've had in the passing game throughout this point of the season has been Noah Fant. Also, you have to run the football because, look, Brett Rippon may be better than Jeff Driscoll, but, I mean, you have to be able to run the football. Like, you don't want your backup quarterbacks, regardless of who it is, throwing the football more than 25 times. Like, you need to run the football, only throw the football when need be. So, if you're Denver, you should be able to do that against the New York Jets defense that pretty much has allowed the opposing team's offense to do whatever they want to. So, if you're Denver, offensively, you stand a good chance to be able to put up some points in this game against a lackluster New York Jets defense. Now, for the New York Jets, I mean, you just got smacked by the Indianapolis Colts last week, 36-7. I mean, what can go wrong went wrong for the New York Jets last week. I mean, they couldn't get anything going on offense. Sam Darnold was a turnover machine. The defense was absolutely terrible. And, I mean, you can't even put all of the blame on the defense. Like, a big reason why the defense didn't really perform all that well last week against the Colts was because the offense can't turn the football over. So, I mean, for the New York Jets, man, you're on 3 right now. This is a must-win game for both of these two teams. But this is a game that I feel the New York Jets need to win more because a lot is on the line for the New York Jets. I mean, Adam Gase, he most definitely is on the hot seat. And, I mean, I told a lot of New York Jets fans that Adam Gase was probably the worst hiring I've ever seen in NFL history. Didn't really accomplish anything in Miami. Didn't get along with his stars in Miami. Only went to playoffs one time, and I never seen him. He's supposed to be an offensive-minded coach, but during Miami, he never had an offense that ranked higher than top 15 in the NFL. And now we're starting to see all that come to fruition with the New York Jets. I mean, this team just is not good, and Adam Gase doesn't look like a good head coach. So, I mean, this New York Jets team, man, this is a reality check for the New York Jets. A lot of people are talking about the New York Jets tanking for Trevor Lawrence and getting rid of Sam Darnold. But, I mean, what is Sam Darnold going to do if he has one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL? His team can't run the football, not a good coach, and a bad offensive line, and a terrible defense. So, I mean, drafting Trevor Lawrence if you're the New York Jets, number one overall, if you plan on tanking, is going to solve anything. So, I mean, unless his offensive line gets figured out and these wide receivers are able to step up, then that's the only way I really see the New York Jets improving. So, I mean, for the New York Jets, man, this is pretty much the best chance you have of winning the game. This is pretty much one of the easiest games that you're probably going to play this season. And you can say the same thing for the Denver Broncos, because both of these teams as of right now are not that good. The Denver Broncos aren't that good right now because of injuries. The New York Jets just aren't that good because they just suck. So for the New York Jets, man, you're going to be facing Brett Rippon, the quarterback who doesn't have all that much experience in the NFL. And if you're the New York Jets, you need to be able to get pressure on them. I think if you're the New York Jets, you need to blitz heavily because your secondary just isn't all that great. And other than Quinnen Williams, nobody on the New York Jets defensive line has really been all that great. So, I mean, if you're struggling to get pressure on the quarterback just by, your front four alone, I think that needs to tell you that you need to send more pressure. And I think the New York Jets, I mean, they need to find some more ways to get pressure on the quarterback because their secondary desperately needs it, because their secondary is struggling right now. And for the offense, I mean, Sam Darnold needs to play better. And I know it's hard for Sam Darnold to play better because of the lack of talent that he has around him. But, I mean, he's also had a lot of errors just based on his decision-making alone. And he has to be able to step up. He has to be able to take care of the football because regardless how bad of a team that the New York Jets may have, you still can't excuse the poor performance that we have seen out of Sam Darnold so far this season. So, I mean, for the Jets, man, they need to be able to take care of the football. I mean, you can't say that they need to get better at running the football because they have tried to run the football. They just really can't because the offensive line just isn't all that great. So, I mean, the New York Jets have tried to run the football, but, I mean, it just doesn't really, work out because they're always down by multiple possessions. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, man, I really don't know what to tell you. But, I mean, this game is basically a coin flip because both of these two teams are pretty bad for their own respective reasons. The Denver Broncos are bad, not because they're a bad team, but simply for the fact that their team is just completely depleted by injuries. And for the New York Jets, your team just is a complete dumpster fire right now. So, I'm taking the Broncos to win this game. I mean, I have more faith in the Broncos to be able to win this game than the New York Jets because at least the Denver Broncos showed some promises in their losses. Like, they looked really good against Pittsburgh in the second half of that game. Although Jeff Driscoll was the quarterback, they were able to score some points on the pretty good Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Against Tampa Bay, I mean, they didn't look completely bad. I mean, they put up a little bit of a fight in the second half. But, I mean, I just think that the Broncos are a better team as of right now than what the New York Jets are. The New York Jets, I'm not going to put any faith in the New York Jets. This team just is completely bad all around. Doesn't matter how healthy they are or how injured they are. They're just a completely bad team. Give me the Denver Broncos to win this game. Denver is supposed to be favored to win this game by 3 points. I'll take Denver to cover the spread. I think they should be able to win this game by 3. And I think Denver wins 24-17 is my final score prediction in this game. Give me Denver.